Hey Brooke, how you doing? Okay, looks like you got your PDF submitted. So let's go ahead and I've got it open right here. So let's take a look. Okay, first of all, the first thing I want to mention is that the configuration here, the shape of the iron, that's good stuff. That's smart, very creative. Talking about the big boy, this is a. You know what? I wonder if there's a. Oh, let me download this real quick because we can get a better look of it at it in. Um, Acrobat than I can with this JPEG. So let me just do this. This will just take 1 second, Brooke. Hang on 1 second. Here it is. Okay, sorry about that. Here we go. Don't want that. Okay, yes. So what I'm getting at is this. I want to be able. There we go. Perfect. I want to zoom out a little bit. So what I'm talking about is the shape of the bottom of the iron and the holes in the bottom of the iron. That's good stuff. Really smart stuff. Very conceptually harmonious with the iron concept. So that's fantastic. Okay, so as far as the narrative itself goes, so we've got the shape of the iron, right? And we've also got the little holes that we find on the bottom of the iron. My only concern here is how is the viewer? I mean, theoretically, the viewer could mistakenly go from this frame to this frame and then this frame and taking the shortest path. Um, or I think what you're intending is for this to be read like a book. So we go to the next line and read it left to right, next line right to left. To avoid any confusion, I would recommend even just adding some sort of a connection between these. Remember in the example, the lumberjack example with the big red beard. Um, Remember that designer used the little hairs from the beard, little trimmings from the beard to connect the narrative so that the viewer could follow their way through. Think of what you can use here to connect it. I mean, my idea would be to use melted cheese in between the frames to kind of connect them. Think about it though, and see if you can't connect those frames in some way. So we would go. So and then also in this configuration, this kind of diamond shaped configuration, you might consider going like this. Go here from frame one over here to frame two, then to frame three, then over here to frame four, because that's going to eliminate some problems, especially down here where you've got four frames and then coming back. Via proximity, it would make sense to go to the next closest frame instead of all the way back here. So let's say in the example that you're using melted cheese from the cheese sandwich, so you would melt cheese to connect from here to here, then from here to here. Now, if you want to go back over here, you would have to connect this cheese all the way over here, which is going to create a little bit of confusion. Then over here, then over here, then from this one all the way back over here. Do you see what I mean? So you might consider going from here to here to here, then to here, 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 then to here, here, then to the bottom. So that would end up being the last frame. Your call. I mean, it really depends. I know this is just a sketch, but just food for thought when you get to that stage. Okay, first introduction of the setting and the characters. Okay, so we got the character, he's hungry. He's got this idea, he's got this grumbling stomach, right? So he's got this idea, I want a grilled cheese sandwich. Darn it, I don't have a waffle iron. Wait a second. Now, at this point, it looks like that's a bag of groceries, and it looks like he's assembling the sandwich. So shouldn't that be viewed in between? I mean, it shouldn't be viewed after the thought of getting a sandwich, but before realizing there's no panini sandwich, because chances are at this point, I don't have a waffle iron. So then he goes ahead, and if I'm reading this correctly, if I'm not, please forgive me and see if you can clarify. But from here, it looks like he's got groceries, and then he's assembling the sandwich and then moving to the iron. But that's not specifically clear. From my perspective, anyways, it looks like so you got the grumbling stomach, the thought of an idea, the thought of a sandwich. Then it would make sense, right, to get the ingredients for the sandwich, to assemble the sandwich, then say, oh, wait a second, darn it, I don't have a waffle iron. Then go, but wait a second, I do have an iron. Then proceed from there. Okay, there's a couple of other frames I think that are a little bit unclear. This one right here, not exactly sure what's happening there. And then iron on high. And then this one here, I'm not sure. Is that the plates on the sandwich? Two sandwiches on a plate. And then this one here, so we've got iron 1 sandwich, iron 2 sandwich. I'm wondering if it might just simple up that. This might be the cause of some of my confusion here. We got 2 sandwiches and 1 iron. Maybe we should just use 1 sandwich because the message is going to be the same, but it's going to be a little bit more clear, I think, for the viewer to envision 1 sandwich being ironed by the clothes iron to make the panini grilled cheese, right? So think about those, and this is a really fantastic start. Nice work here. So just think about the clarity of the narrative, and really, I think a really great thing to do is run this by, like if you have coworkers or family, or I don't know if you have children or whatever what your immediate surroundings, just run this by a few people and say, hey, can you take a look at this and tell me if you can follow the story and see what they say. And I always do that as a designer. I mean, one of my favorite things is my neighbor's kids, because my neighbor's kids are totally honest. And I often show my work to them. I work for a company that designs a children's clothing line, and I do a lot of the illustrations for their advertising, and I illustrate these little kids wearing the clothes. And before I ever submit it, I always find my neighbor's kids who are usually playing in the backyard, and I show them. I say, "What do you think about this illustration?" And they'll give me their honest opinion. Well, yeah, I mean, it might be something as innocuous as, "Well, that split between his teeth is too wide." And I look at it and I go, "Oh, wow, yeah, you know what? You're right. You're right. It is pretty prominent, so I'll change it." So the point I'm trying to make here is run this by anybody you can, just to get some comments. And you should really make a practice of doing that with all of your design work. Just get a few eyes on there and get some feedback. All right, fantastic job. So from here, let me see, where am I? Here we are. Okay, so let me see. I just want to make sure there's no questions here. So yeah, Brooke. So from here, just work out the details of the delivery of the narrative, and let me know if you have any questions. All right, great job. Can't wait to see this one. I can't wait to see this one progress. All right, thanks, Brooke.